charge. In 2008, Burris brought an unlicensed handgun into a New York nightclub. The gun accidentally went off, hitting Burris in the leg. Today, just outside the prison gates, Burris thanked God for bringing him through what he called one of the most trying times in his life.
You know, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I get to be reunited with my family and go home and spend some quality time with them. And as far as football is concerned, if and when, you know, everything gets settled and when they get back on the field, I'll be ready.
Joining us now for more of the future of Plexico Burris and for the NFL is NPR's Mike Pesca. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Now, he's done his time. Is the question now whether anyone in the NFL will want him on the other side of this?
Anyone? Yeah. The way at least sports media works is that probably right now there are 26 sports radio stations in 32 NFL markets where they're debating, could our team use Plexico Burris? There are only a few teams, the teams where it's worn out as welcome, like the Giants and the Steelers, maybe the Super Bowl champion Packers, or a team like the Falcons have great receivers that would definitely say we don't need him. But he's still seen as a top-notch receiver, or at least a receiver that poses headaches for opposing defenses because of what he could do before he went into jail. We should also say as a condition of his release, he has to seek work immediately. So right now there's a big debate, maybe not as many general managers are debating it as the football fans are, but there's still quite a lot of interest in him for sure.
And there's no shortage of players who've had to do penance on the other side of bad behavior. So let's use history as our guide. How have players in similar situations handled this?
You know, psychologists talk about the recency effect, which means we just remember the last prominent thing that happened. For years, if the question was an athlete who served time in jail, can he be good? The recency effect said everyone would think about Mike Tyson, who wasn't a good boxer after he got out of jail. But then, Michael Vick, the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, people said, well, he won't be good when he gets out of jail. But he was great. And all the athleticism came back. It took a little time, but he got the last year. So now people are discussing Plexico Burris, which say, well, what's the first? That's not necessarily true. There are so many characters, but at least we can say we're an example of where jail time affected an athlete and an example of jail time did.
Mike Pesca, before I let you go, can you please give us a quick update on where labor negotiations stand in the NFL and its partnership?
Right, at least affects Burris because there is no free agency now. There is a lockout. So right now, the U.S. Court of Appeals, the 8th Circuit, is hearing the case of legal rules before they rule. That very same circuit overruled the lower judge's decision, which had said that the lockout was illegal. And at the same time, owners and players are meeting in what has been deemed secret meetings, except everyone knows about them. So headline writers are secret quotes. Maybe just at this point call them meetings, but they are meeting, and perhaps the legalisms will play out and will be irrelevant because they'll come to a negotiation. It's also been reported that the NFL has concocted an 8-week schedule, normally 17 weeks and 16 games in the football season. Who knows if they're being genuine about that? That's the radar stuff. The message seems to be that we're prepared to go to the mattresses on this one.
Mike Pesca, always good to talk to you. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
That's NPR sports correspondent Mike Pesca.
Funded by you, our listeners, and by Fox Television's new season of Master Chef with Gordon Ramsay. Amateur chefs compete to become the next Master Chef. The two-night premiere begins tonight on Fox 25. MIT's System Design and Management Flexible Masters program, combining engineering and management for professionals. Open house June 14th in Quincy. sdm.mit.edu. And Lincoln's new MKX crossover with voice-activated sync with My Lincoln Touch. Lincoln, it's not just luxury, it's smarter than more.
This is WBUR and WBUR.org. In the next 10 minutes, all things considered, Apple's highly anticipated cloud data storage service called iCloud, plus the growing number of restaurants that are taking orders online. On Wall Street today, stocks closed down. The Dow down 61 points to 12,090. The Nasdaq down 30 points at 2702. More business news on Marketplace at 6:30, including a story about California's plan to reduce overcrowding in its prisons and also save money on housing inmates. In our forecast, it's going to get much warmer this week. It may feel like a pretty spring day today. It's going to feel like summer by Thursday. Sunny highs around 80 tomorrow. Sunny highs in the upper 80s on Wednesday, and by Thursday we could be hitting 90 degrees. Right now it's 71 degrees at 6:20.
WBUR supporters include Mass Audubon, Your Great Outdoors, Explore, Escape, and Play in over 50 wild spaces all across the state. Log on to massaudubon.org to truly connect. And Soleil Restaurant in Waltham. Reservations available now in their private dining rooms for graduation parties and other celebrations. SoleilRestaurant.com.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Laura Tyler Block, and it's time now for All Tech Considered. Today, Apple founder Steve Jobs returned briefly from medical leave to address the company's annual developers conference in San Francisco. Jobs took the podium to speak with James Brown's I Feel Good, battling pancreatic cancer. And perhaps the most anticipated announcement Jobs made was for Apple's cloud-based music service. NPR's Laura Schneidel was at today's conference, and she joins us now. Laura, it's called iCloud. Tell us what it does.
Well, essentially what it does is it makes it possible to put all kinds of things in what they call the cloud. And what the cloud really is, it's a storage facility far away that Apple owns, but that you can access from any device. So no longer will you have to just download all your music onto every single device. Instead, you'll just be able to sign in, and your music will be there. And in this case, there were other things too, as well as photos and documents. So it was a whole kind of iCloud service that they were talking about here.
Now, Apple is following on the heels of Amazon and Google. Both of those companies have announced their own cloud-based music service over the past several months. How is iCloud any different?
Well, it is different, and time has something to do with it, as in how long it's going to take you to actually get access to your music. So both Amazon and Google did something where essentially you're going to have to upload every song to the cloud, and that's going to take time. So it could take a long time before you have 20,000 songs where all your songs are up there. What Apple did, Apple is doing this thing where iTunes will essentially scan your library, and it will look at what songs you've got, and then it will find those same songs in its library. So it just knows you've got them, and that you bought them or you own them, and it will give you access to those particular songs. And that means it's going to happen instantaneously. You won't have to wait until every song uploads.
What about a cost to the consumer, Laura?
Well, here's how it goes. It's actually free if you have purchased songs through iTunes. So any song you purchase on iTunes, you'll be able to get on your iPhone, on your iPod Touch. You'll be able to get it on your iPad. If you didn't buy it from Apple, but you have a whole collection, say, of CDs that you put into your iTunes library, for $24.99 a year, you will be able to access those songs. That is, providing Apple has rights to them in their library. So say if it was something that wasn't in their library, that would still be problematic. But they have a very big library, so we're talking about a lot of songs. So for $24.99, I think it's about 20,000 songs. And as one analyst I talked to afterwards said, for most people, 20,000 songs is a lot of songs to be able to access from any device.
Yeah, you're paying to access songs you already own, though, which
yes, that is true. You are paying for a service. That is absolutely true. Though I have to say, compared to say Amazon's cloud service, it actually ends up being cheaper. It's $24.99 a year. And to me, it seems like a pretty good deal for a service that essentially lets you get all your music wherever you are. But I don't know. That's me.
Laura, briefly, Apple is a little bit behind the curve here. Why did it take them so long to unveil this cloud-based music service?
Well, there are a lot of rights involved here. And the reason that Amazon and Google did it the way they did it is because they didn't want to step on anybody's rights. The reason Apple's worked so quickly is because they've got all four major record labels involved. They've got publishers involved, and everybody's getting a cut on this. And so that's why it took them longer.
Okay, and here's Laura Schneidel. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Sometimes you just want to order in. You don't want to have to explain that order again and again to the person on the other end of the phone who's taking 3 or more orders at the same time. Well, rest assured, more and more businesses are paying. As Jacobs reports, restaurants are trying to make the ordering process easier by letting customers do everything online.
Last year, Carolina Governor decided his Papa John's franchise in upstate New York wasn't doing enough business for the Super Bowl, so he started a special offer. Any large pizza for $10 on game day. This year, he says Papa John's ran a special national.
I don't want to say they copied me, but they copied me.
Puppy has been in a pitched competing battle for customers with other local pizza chains. hoping to reduce these more ahead, maybe in part because customers can click on his local specials right on Papa John's website. Customers can place their order online, and the orders go straight to monitors in his kitchen.
It lets the customer see what they want, get what they want. They get a more consistent experience. We can focus more on making pies, getting it out the door, taking care of that stuff for the customers.
One of those patrons, Krista Kermitis, stops in for pickup. She made her order earlier in the day from her smartphone.
My mom's going, I try and cover a bunch of things in, and I'm a single mom, and so the app is right there on my phone, and I can just go to it and put it in, and I don't have to worry about it.
The phone number, the Body Partners customers now order from him. This enthusiastic early adopter is actually working on a program to run the whole store from his iPad. But a growing number of restaurateurs seem to be catching up, loving his enthusiasm for technology. Sherry Kine, professor at Cornell School of Hotel Industry. The latest study shows that a quarter of chain restaurants and more than half of pizza and sandwich shops now take online orders. And it's really like, wow, I mean, this is a lot more than what I thought was going on. About half of customers have ordered food online. Kine said it's doing online ordering well and early has helped chains like Papa John's pull in more patrons.
Most restaurants in the U.S. are aware of this now. It's just a matter of trying to figure out how can we best do this. But there are some operational and cost issues associated with it as well.
Restaurants aren't just setting up their own systems. They're also joining multi-restaurant sites like Snapping and Grubhub that let any restaurant upload its menu. While most of Publix's orders come from Papa John's website, another step comes from a site called commute.com, which is targeting college towns.
You don't want to have, login to your
Mike Saunders is the founder of it's one of the newer sites in online middleware takeout.
Why would I go to PapaJohns.com or Domino's.com? Both of those things, there needs to be acted on.
Saunders says multi-restaurant sites also offer more than a huge part of the market. Smaller chains and restaurants that can't afford to set up their own secure ordering site. Researcher Sherry Kines agrees online ordering will grow, but she expects the final frontier may be on Facebook. Nearly all the restaurants she looked at were on Facebook. Only a handful of orders through the site. For NPR News, I'm Emma Jacobs.
Support for all that research comes from Carbonite, providing automatic online backup, keep photos, music, and other files safe from computer mishaps. Details at carbonite.com.
This is WVUR.org. The Marketplace is up next. It's some leaders who there's negative surveys on it. In the first hour, fears of the double recession. In the second hour, that's all coming up tonight. Right now, there's 71 degrees outside.
We're funded by you, our listeners, and by Cambridge Truck Company, primary supporter of Marketplace on WVUR, committed to thoughtful, comprehensive opening. Learn more at CambridgeTrust.com. Plymouth Rock Insurance, Massachusetts Armature, Plymouth Rock or your trusted insurance. Rock Insurance. I'm VA program. Full and part-time options. Info session is at
electronic games last year, according to the NPD Group. A bigger and bigger chunk of that money is going toward mobile game apps, and many eyes turned to North Cupertino today to see if Apple might debut a shocking new product in which to play those games. From American Public Media, this is Marketplace. Marketplace is the buying outcomes, providing investment, insurance, and retirement solutions through its affiliated companies in the U.S. since 1896. AllianzUSA.com. The transportation agent on Marketplace is supported in part by the Marketplace Foundation. From the Frank Stanton Studios in Los Angeles, I'm Chris Bigland in for Kai Risdahl. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. This was the 6th day of June. The Apple faithful flocked to San Francisco today for their annual pilgrimage. It's the kickoff of the company's Worldwide Developers Conference, complete with a keynote address by Steve Jobs. The conference is usually known for its new gadget announcements, but things were a tad more subdued this time around. Marketplace's technology correspondent Steve Hand's been keeping an eye on events for us and joins us from Silicon Valley. Hey, Steve.
Hey, how are you?
So, any surprises today from Apple?
Well, the real surprise was there wasn't a surprise. Usually there's a lot of anticipation about some shiny, fabulous, beautiful new gadget that Apple will unveil, but this year, Apple released a press release at the time saying this event would focus just on new software for the Mac as well as its mobile devices, the iPhone and the iPad. And Steve Jobs is unveiling the iCloud, Apple's new free cloud-based service. And that was what we got.
Well, I'm sure that there are some folks out there who are perhaps a little cloud about the cloud. Tell us exactly.
Well, for the last few years, it's been a big fad among businesses, and it's this idea that you can move all of your files and your data to servers in remote locations, and then you can access them from anywhere. For consumers, it's often been a hassle. It's difficult to get all of your music uploaded into a remote server. And Apple is trying to make this whole process as easy as possible. So if you own music in iTunes, you will be able to access it from anywhere. Same for books, photo roll, pictures with your iPhone will automatically be pushed out, not just to other Apple devices, but also your PC. And they're giving this away for free, offering consumers up to 5 gigabytes of storage. So it's a deal.
So if they're offering it for free, how does that make money off this?
One possibility is they can sell extra storage space. They're also offering a service if you have a big CD collection with digital copies on it. You can load that on and charge you $25 a year. Personally, I really want to read the privacy policies on the service, because if you and I move our entire lives into the iCloud, they're going to know an awful lot about us, and that could mean lots of new marketing opportunities.
Now, I know the faithful were hoping that Jobs would unveil a new phone, so was there disappointment when he didn't?
Yeah, I think there's some, and there's probably some disappointment among Apple shareholders, too. Apple's unveiled a new phone at this event every year for the last 4 years, and it's actually really hard to overstate how important the iPhone is to Apple's revenue. Some folks estimate that for every 1 million iPhones that they sell, they earn $660 million. Last quarter, they sold 18 million iPhones.
Well, Steve, that's got to spark some questions about why that is. Are they off their game because Jobs has been on indefinite medical leave since January 17th?
Most analysts I've talked to don't think so. And Steve Jobs was at the event today. He walked out to James Brown, I feel good. And he was his usual charming self. And I think many analysts aren't too worried about it.
It is, however, the first summer in a while without lines around